Hey guys, I'm making this video to share some life-changing news with you that I'm really excited about. Um, and also as an apology to some of my friends that I've lost relationships with over the past year or two. Um, and some of you, I'm just sharing this with you because I think you could benefit from it or you just might appreciate it. So I'm going to jump right in. So for the past 10 years, I suffered with clinical depression and anxiety. The past year, things have progressively gotten worse and worse to the point where I was barely functioning, especially through the month of December. I was having a very difficult time getting out of bed. I was having a difficult time doing just daily tasks. Personal hygiene, brushing my teeth, like brushing my hair, doing my makeup. I'm just going to use an analogy to kind of explain how I've been feeling. I've been making up analogies every night now with my husband, trying to get him to really understand the inner workings of my mind and why I was so tormented for a great portion of my life, especially last year. So this past year, my brain went from thinking and worrying 50% of the time or 40% of the time to 90/99% of the time. Like, I was constantly worrying. I was constantly in fear. I was having extremely hateful thoughts about myself and could never get a break. And it was so difficult. It was like walking through a room of molasses trying to get to the other side, and that molasses is up to your chest and you can barely move. So it's okay. So as I've been struggling with this and trying to get through this room of molasses and trying to figure out all these negative thoughts, I've also been running a full-time business and my part-time job as well for Stylebook as the creative director, and trying to hide what I've been going through and trying to constantly put on a good face or a mask or just even a smile was daunting and challenging on a daily basis. So I finally decided to get help. I finally decided I was going to start seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist. So I went to the psychiatrist 3 weeks ago, and he gave me a few options to try. We talked about just dealing with the anxiety. We talked about just dealing with the anxiety and depression. And then we talked about a third option, mood stabilizers. And so what mood stabilizers do is they allow your brain, you know what, I don't really know what they do, but for me what it's done, it's allowed my brain to function in a totally different way. So I'm currently on a pill called Seroquel, and Seroquel is an antipsychotic used for bipolar patients. And I was always so hesitant to allow myself to be labeled as bipolar that I think that's a huge reason why it took me this long to get the help I needed, because I didn't want to make that jump from anxiety and depression to bipolar. I was worried about losing clients. I was worried about losing friends. And it turns out nobody cares. They just care that you're getting the help you need. So I've been on these pills for 3 weeks, and this has been the most life-changing thing I've ever done. The first 2 days were pure hell. It was crazy anxiety, extreme agitation, and just like hatred and anger for like a good 72 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours. And I did not think I was going to make it through those 48 hours. I wanted to flush those pills every moment of the day because they made me feel so terrible. And I started the pills on a Tuesday. So Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday I woke up and my life was changed. It's like that pool of molasses that I had been walking through my entire life was drained completely. Like, not halfway, not a third, but completely drained. And all those negative thoughts and hateful thoughts and suicidal thoughts that I've been dealing with on a daily basis for the past 10 years were all of a sudden gone. So imagine waking up one day, and just to put it in terms that might be a little bit easier to understand, imagine being colorblind your entire life and finally being able to see colors for the first time. That's how dramatic it was for me. I could finally see the good in myself. I could finally see the good in other people. I could see the good in just life in general, the good in my own life as far as my success and my good qualities over my bad qualities. I mean, it's completely a different brain that I'm dealing with right now, in lots of ways. So far, there hasn't been a whole lot of negative side effects. My creativity has skyrocketed because I can finally hone in and focus on those ideas. My patience has skyrocketed. I don't get angry anymore, or I'm not quick to anger. My love for my husband has skyrocketed. I look at him now like I'm looking at him for the first time. Like those first few months that we started dating, and I would look at him and be like, man, this guy is such a stunner, and he's brilliant, and he's sweet. And for the past year, my brain has been clogged with all these negative thoughts about how I didn't deserve him, how I didn't even deserve life. There's no reason why he should love me. So now we'll sit on the couch, and sometimes I have to pause Shameless, which we're watching right now. I have to pause it and look at him and be like, listen, thank you so much for doing everything. Or sometimes I'll pause it and just say, man, you're so handsome. Like, I just get distracted and I just look at him and I focus in on his features, and I'm like, my God, this entire time I have never just took a step back and realized how beautiful life is. And I tried so hard to cover it up. I mean, most people knew me as like optimistic Sarah or overzealous Sarah. That's because I was like overcompensating for all this negativity and hatred and disgust I felt for myself and I felt for my own life. And it's all gone now. And I know there's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. And I know there's going to be days when I have to struggle with this. And I know there's going to be days when I think I can stop taking my medication because I feel better. And those days are going to come and go, and I'm going to stick with this and stick with seeing someone and stick with the medication because this is my new battle cry. This is my way that I'm going to change my life and change the life of others. This is how I fight the war that I've been fighting with myself for all these years. So I plan on coming out about this publicly within the next few months. Right now I'm keeping it between some friends and clients. I've pretty much been telling everyone, but I'm trying to not spread it all over just yet. I want to make sure that these medications continue to work for a few more months before I commit to telling the world. So the people who have chosen to get this video are either people who I've hurt, people who I have ignored this past year or stopped talking to, people who I have pretty much like wrecked our relationship because I've just buried myself away in my business and in solitude because I couldn't handle anything more than I was already handling. And finally, people who I think will either benefit or appreciate this video. Feel free to reach out to me with questions or concerns. I'm obviously very open about this and would like to keep talking to you about it. I'm really excited. This is a whole new journey for me.